What's up everyone? I have finally made it to Herat in the western part of Afghanistan, and look who I found!
Hello everyone, I'm Thomas. I'm part of a YouTube channel called Yes Theory, and I'm so excited to be in Afghanistan with Drew. Your videos that you posted a year ago was like the main driver for me wanting to come here.
I'm so happy to have you here, man.
I'm so excited.
I actually thought you weren't going to come at one point.
Really?
But you're here, so
yeah.
Today we're going to be exploring all over the beautiful city of Herat. Are you ready?
I'm ready, and ready to see everything that the city has to offer.
Let's do it, man. Herat was a very important stop on the ancient Silk Road, and today it remains Afghanistan's third largest city. It's located just 100 kilometers or a 90-minute drive away from the border of Iran. In fact, I've noticed so many cultural things here that overlap with Persian culture, and it makes me so happy because Iran is one of my favorite countries on earth. The architecture here reminds me of Iran. It's got a lot of Persian influence, like the building behind me at the market. It's very, very cool. Everywhere in Iran, when they have tea, they put this kind of rock candy inside of the teacup. And this is the only place nowhere in Afghanistan I've seen that they have this. Thomas and I have been talking about coming to Afghanistan together for over a year, and I'm so happy that it finally has worked out. Thomas is arriving now in Afghanistan. We're here to pick him up. Dude, how are you?
Oh my god.
Welcome to Afghanistan, man.
What are we doing right now?
My
god, look at your outfit.
You made it. Thomas is really a great dude, and I very much look up to him and his content, so it's a special experience to be telling stories together. We are going right now to Herat. So excited, man.
It's your first time, right?
First time in Herat, yeah, super pumped. If there's one thing I know, it's gonna be an amazing and crazy day packed with activities and adrenaline. The question is, are you guys ready? Our first destination is one of the most epic mosques in Afghanistan. We just entered this incredible plaza here.
Okay, Drew, welcome to the Friday Mosque of Herat. It's also called the Blue Mosque of Herat as well. This mosque was built during the 13th century by the Timurids. They call it the Friday Mosque because lots of people come here on Fridays to do the Friday prayer. So Friday prayer is a very important prayer for Muslims, and they all gather at the yard here. Like probably more than 1,000 people is coming here on Friday.
This mosque reminds me a lot of the one in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. You have the same kind of archways, the same kind of tiles, the same kind of design, and these huge plazas. Is just so incredible. Like I'm out of words right now. Like it's just so cool to be the only ones here. And tucked away behind the mosque is the original tile factory, which has been using the exact same process to hand make these tiles for over 700 years. We couldn't help but take a peek inside. So right now we are in the tile factory that's literally behind the Friday Mosque here. These guys are like literally like on their hands and knees banging and making these tiles like as perfect as they can, and it's been passed down generation after generation, and they still use the same ways that they've done it hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Mr. Umid is the head of this tile factory.
And everything's handmade?
From soil to actual tile, it's made out of hands.
The tile making process goes like this. First, the soil is gathered from nearby areas and it looks like mud.
That process is really interesting.
Then it's brought here in bulk and carefully crafted into square shapes where it is left to dry. Can you ask him how many tiles he can make from all that mud?
Like around 500.
After that, each tile is covered in an outer shell that consists of broken glass, which gives it its shiny texture. Next, it's thrown into the oven to be cooked at 50%, and then each tile is colored and then given a detailed design before being assembled next to each other like a puzzle.
One, they're sketching and everything is done, and this is how they bring the puzzle together here.
So much work. Finally, it's thrown back into the oven and cooked at 900 degrees Celsius, and voila, you have a tile. While everything has been fun and games so far, if I'm being honest, it's quite stressful to shoot content here. This is something that I'm used to from my travels, but for Thomas, it's the first time he has come across this challenge. Yo, put the camera down.
It's a little nerve-wracking with the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the first time I ever traveled to a country where you can like legitimately not film
Like the
in
guy
like most places. We've already been yelled at multiple times since we landed, and we just landed. So it's definitely sinking in the reality of like, wow, this is going to be a very different story. Like a part of the story is figuring out like, how do we even film here?
As I'm saying this, I'm looking at two giant trucks with big military guys with a huge gun pointed at the street, and they just drove by. But this is all part of the deal when traveling in Afghanistan. The way I look at it is high risk to shoot, but higher reward to tell these stories. It's like a game, dude. Like knowing where to shoot and stuff. Like keeping it down, putting it up. It's a fun game though. We made our way onwards across town to the former home of Alexander the Great. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is so awesome. Because today is a holiday, the entire citadel is closed, but Noor was able to pull some strings and get us secret access. And guess what? We had the entire place to ourselves. Like nobody's here right now. Like, literally.
Oh. What a privilege to be here right now.
Dude, it's so cool. Oh, we get the views of the city now. You don't need a drone when you can elevate yourself.
Alexander the Great's castle. Why do you need a drone if you can do that?
I'm so thankful to be here right now in this moment. You can see the whole city of Herat behind me up here. This is a very special place, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Drew, Tomas, you're right now at the castle of Ikhtiyaruddin. They believe, according to the excavation they did here in this citadel, they found the stumps and lots of remainings from the time of Alexander the Great, which is like back to 330 BC.
So everything we're seeing now is not original. It's all been rebuilt over time.
You can see like parts of the walls are original, but parts of the walls are renewed. For example, gray spots are new, and the like much like tan spots are old. These paintings are probably like 500 to 600 years old.
That's wild. The color is still here. Right now I'm getting lost in Alexander the Great's former home. There's so many levels to this place. Dude, it's like amazing here.
So this area, there you will see some dark rooms. So they used to be the prisons where people like doing some crazy stuff.
When speaking with the police officer on duty, we came to find out that the citadel is somewhat haunted.
He says like lots of bloodshed here, like during the course of the history, even during the Taliban. Now, sometimes we are scared even here, like during the nights here, and some of our guards and some of our caretakers, they cannot stay inside the castle. So we moved everything outside of the castle now, and now we are just, during the nights, we take care of the castle from outside.
On one recent incident, he claims to have encountered a ghost.
There somebody was calling my name, and I was trying to see and find where the voice is coming from, and I couldn't find it. And he says, like in one location, it's a very dark room, and it says once I felt the sound is coming from that room, and then when I saw there was nothing, and I was really scared, and he said I came back to our base here.
As we were on our way out, the caretaker of the citadel invited us into the back room for some chai. He's offered us 3 times, so we finally took his offer.
We finally took his offer.
Imagine walking around the US in LA and you meet someone for the first time and they're like, hey, do you want to have a cup of tea? Like, it would never happen.
Yeah. Wow, lemon candies.
Is it sweet? Great way to break up the day, have a nice cup of chai. A little too hot to drink, but delicious.
You just burned it burned your whole tongue.
Burned my mouth. He told us that he was open to being interviewed about some of the dark days that he has seen. And what he told us was shocking. I'm really curious to know what his experience was like when the Taliban took over Herat.
He says like we have a very, very unhappy experience, like the unhappiest experience ever. So he says first of all it was war and bloodshed everywhere. I'm talking from 1995 to 2001. He says like taking a shower, having a hammam is something necessary. Anyone need to do that, but women were not allowed to go to a public hammam. the women were not allowed to go to school, and if you were caught like stealing, they were making your face like black and take you in the middle of the town, like walking. They were whipping you, and then after that, at the end, they were chopping the hand.
Literally chop off the hand in public.
I myself, I saw hands hanged on the tree in a square in Mazar Sharif. He says this black spot that you see here, this is from the Taliban time when they shoot an RPG at the people here. Killed like 6-7 people, and then the house was on fire because there was carpets and stuff, and this is the smoke is from that day.
Whoa. As we hit the busy streets yet again, my brain was trying to process everything that the old man just told us. I feel so bad for these innocent locals here who have to live through this horrific Taliban regime. It's just terrible. Our next stop was a place that I was looking forward to visit for years, the old Jewish neighborhood and synagogue of Herat. We've just arrived in the old Jewish quarter here, and the synagogue is right in front of me. So we got the key to go in, and here we go. If you guys can remember a video I did 18 months ago in Kabul about the life of Zablon Simentov, the last remaining Jew in Afghanistan, he was originally from Herat.
I am only one Jewish Afghanistan.
This place was really special to visit because as a Jew myself, it's so fascinating to connect with my heritage around the world. This is all original?
Part of them are original, part of them are restored. So because all of these things are not to be restored.
Wow! Holy crap! This is really cool. Wow! Wow! I was expecting it to be in ruins or not beautiful, but you have all these original paintings up here.
Those parts that you see, those were broken. Also the ceiling was broken. They just restored all these new bricks or the ceiling.
Roughly 2,700 years ago, Jews settled in Herat and built a thriving community in this very neighborhood. In the mid-19th century, it's believed that there were over 40,000 Jews living in Herat who all left for Israel in 1948, except Zablon Simentov, who is still in Afghanistan. The synagogue, which was built hundreds and hundreds of years ago, is still left behind, and it's in incredible condition. So in Judaism, we have these places called a mikvah, which is like a bath where you just get in naked and wash yourself. It's usually a running stream, and here was the mikvah. Right here, you go down there and wash yourself. That's exactly what a mikvah looks like. Yeah.
Is this Star of David?
Yeah. I was really curious to see if anyone living in the neighborhood today actually knows that they're living in a former Jewish settlement. So I asked them. Assalamu alaikum. I'm curious to know, like, do you know that you live in this former Jewish area?
So it's just we know it's a very like historical site, but we don't really know it's a Jewish area.
What do you think about the synagogue?
Yeah, he says it looks like a very nice place. It's a historical area, but he doesn't really know what it is. And he said, but I've been there several times.
Do you know what Judaism is? Have you heard of the religion?
Yeah, we have just heard some time about them.
Do you ever feel worried being Jewish?
Not really. Nobody knows I'm Jewish. I don't tell people I'm Jewish or wear an Israeli flag around my neck or anything, so I've never had a problem. In fact, it's the opposite. When I tell people in Muslim countries, they're curious and they're like, oh, I want to know more about Judaism, and it's never, I've never had any hatred or something like that. So right now we're driving through one of the main squares in Herat, and there's so much activity around us, like markets everywhere. Like my eyes are glued out this window right now, and there's so many things to see. There is so much traffic in Herat 24/7. It's honestly insane, but it makes for great views out the window. You ran over the bike. No big deal, I just went straight into the bike?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes you just gotta run over a bike.
Even when we're stuck in traffic, people will come up to our window and just smile. It's impossible for me to tell any story in Afghanistan without mentioning the hospitality. Countless times every day, we get stopped randomly on the street with people who just want to say hi, have a conversation, and invite us into their home for tea.
We
don't even know him. He's just a random guy.
Yeah.
Why would he invite us into his house?
I told him that we are so sorry that we have a flight at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And then he said that at least I want to take you to the airport myself.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. The people of this country are one of the top reasons why Afghanistan is one of my favorites in the world. Our next stop was one of the holiest sites in all of Afghanistan, and that's saying something because this country is full of sacred places.
Welcome to the shrine of Haja Abdullah Ansar, an elderly mullah, a Sufi, a philosopher, and a poet of Herat during the 10th century. And people used to come to him for their problems, and he prayed for them and helped people relief with their pains and mental problems and everything. So even today, when you go inside there, you'll see lots of followers coming, especially today is Friday in the afternoon. Lots of people would come here. Every of his followers, when they were dying, they wanted to be buried close to Pir Herat. The shrine was totally full, and then they started burying their bodies here, and then on the other side.
We're not supposed to be filming, but they said we can use our phone and GoPro is fine. This place feels different, doesn't it, than the other places we went?
It's very quiet.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So that's the actual tomb out there. These tiles are one of those very difficult artworks. Probably one of these tiles takes like a whole week to be finished. Like each of them is a secret part of tile. Each of them.
We saw how they make it, so it's just so incredible in here. It just feels, this is the first place we've been where it almost feels disrespectful to speak. It's so quiet here.
Probably only this gravestone probably took like 5 years to be completed.
Definitely felt like the holiest site we've seen so far.
Yeah.
You could just feel it in the energy of the place and the people there. Like it was the only place so far that felt hesitant to film and even speak at all.
And finally, to cap off an amazing day in Herat, Thomas and I decided to head back to the Friday mosque for sunset. In the park on our way in, we stumbled across a cricket match. Nice!
What a shot!
What a shot! Many people don't realize that cricket is the national sport of Afghanistan and it's played all over the country. I just caught it. I wasn't prepared for that. We headed back into the Friday mosque and it was even more glorious than before because the colors were starting to pop out for sunset. Lucky us, we happened to catch prayer time and it was a really special moment where everything came around in full circle. I learned a lot from traveling in Afghanistan with Thomas. It's really the first time in my life that I visited an intense country with someone else, and it's so rewarding to be able to share these moments with a friend. As they say, happiness is only real when shared, and now I can know with 100% confidence that it's the truth. Well, that was an epic experience here.
That was unbelievable. Really, I mean, when I first arrived, like I was a little bit anxious just about even making eye contact with people.
Right.
I just like wasn't too sure, and just like having spent now a few days here, it's unbelievable the amount of like love you feel from people and how excited they are to meet us.
Listen, I knew that you would love it here, and so to hear you saying these words is like music to my ears, man.
Yeah.
It was a great trip. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about Herat and the beautiful people of Afghanistan. And yeah, this is one for the lifetime, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Thank you for taking me, man.
Dude.
This has been an unbelievable experience.
Also, guys, I want you to check out his video that he put on his page, Yes Theory. Check it out right now, the link below. You guys are gonna love what he had to say.
Amazing.
Cool.
I can tell already wearing this outfit, we're getting so many less stares than when I first arrived. Because now at first glance, like they have to like really look at look at us to tell that we're not from here. But I think I haven't trimmed my beard in like 2 weeks on purpose because you told me like grow out your beard.
I told you grow it out.
Beard and then this outfit. Obviously, when you look at me, I'm not. You can tell that I'm not a local. But it takes a little bit more. Like when people walk past the car, and they just look at us, they don't like.
Exactly.
They have to like look a couple of times to notice.
So guys, at this point I've traveled to 191 countries in my life and I'm back in Afghanistan, and I just want to let you guys know, whoever's watching this, that Afghanistan really truly is one of my favorite places on this entire planet. It's so misunderstood when you get down and you sit and meet eye to eye with people and eat the food and really feel their hospitality. You know, I spent 3 weeks here in this country and I'm just so impressed by how incredible it is, and yes, safety is an issue, security is an issue, but you can't look past it, and you can really, really appreciate this ancient culture and history and society that's unlike anywhere else I've ever been in the world. So I think I will always be coming back to Afghanistan. I'm Drew Binsky, and if you like my travel videos, please click subscribe and ring that little bell so you can get notified on all my upcoming videos as I take you to every single country in the world.